Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're going to have me as the host today, Tesla. We have things going on your planet, as you well know. And right now, Sananda, Michael, many of the other archangels and beings are working in that field. So I'm going to host. So welcome. And I want to acknowledge that when I was with you before, I was so excited to be with individuals who can hold space and boundaries for new things to occur. And here we are at this time on the planet where we need to hold boundaries for new things to occur. New things to occur. And sometimes new things come effortlessly. But when you have systems that are holding on tenaciously to their way of being, owning, controlling, greed, etc., things do not unfold effortlessly. But that doesn't mean that new things are not coming. I said before, those in human bodysuits, which I was one of you, want things to happen like magic key, speak the word, say a prayer, bingo, done. And you're the forces that are allied against freedom, sovereignty, and creating that which is beneficial. Those forces are committed with hours spent hammering the energy field that must respond to them and their creations by law. So I just want to reiterate, here you are in a situation that is dire. And it's much more dire for some than for others. And we'd like to affirm to you that there is purpose in this. There is purpose in this. And we can speak of that purpose more clearly in this circle than in many other places. There are places all over the planet, circles, prayer groups, meditations that are gathering and gathering and gathering, and they're infusing light, and they're infusing love, and they're infusing balance and blessings. They're doing their part. We're calling you to a different part of that plan. And your part might require a little bit more than just magic key, say a prayer, and it's done. So I hope you're up for the task. I hope you're up for the task. So Sophia has been here for the last hour waiting to speak. She thought she would be speaking sooner in another circle, but that wasn't her place. This is her place. So I'm going to turn it over to her. That energy, collective, intelligent field that we call Sophia, holder of that female mission of discerning and calling for removal of what isn't beneficial. That's Sophia's job. I'm just going to jump right in here. We have on this planet everything backwards, everything backwards. Men have been apologizing and made to apologize to women for years. Apologize to women, make it right to women. And I am here to say we are the problem. And until we make that clear, make that correction, our men will not be freed of those who control their bodies for violence. So that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. In that original plan for the planet, Soul volunteered to come into a male bodysuit, knowing that the bodysuit was owned. The soul was carrying the ownership marks of the parasitic of the outsiders. They were owned. They knew they'd be owned. So the role that they would play would be appear to the outsiders to be very innocuous, lazy guys sitting on the top of the mountain meditating. But the power was bringing in the energy from the sun for creation, really. All possibilities, moving it through the heart and filling villages, communities with that love energy. And they did that knowing that they could be caught, trapped, made to do anything else anytime the outsiders wanted it done. So they relied on the other part of the mission, which is bodysuits who had no ownership marks, because the male bodysuit carried two. Bodies with no ownership marks were those who volunteered to come into that bodysuit we call female in order to be unseen as they gather together on Gaia, within Gaia, with one another, and in coming up, and they began to use the law to create without the outsiders knowing, bringing forth thriving villages, lush gardens, tasting the good. What does that taste like on this planet? They needed to know that. And they could use that heart energy because the men flooded the villages with that heart energy. When we moved, my call was then to the female. So time to step up to the plate. I'm going to bring to you fruit, forms, experiences, not of your creation, but of outsider creation. So you can taste it. You can taste the puckery, the constriction. You could taste the discounting. You could taste how it affected you. I opened that door. You knew good, you knew benefit, you knew unity, and you could taste its opposite. In order for you to stand firm and say, not in my village. And your declaration would call in all those who were prepared to remove that energy. You see? We've talked about this many times, Sharon has. So that beautiful balance of masculine and feminine at the beginning was broken by a soul in a female body. And it only took one. So a soul in a female body who inadvertently brought the outsider's awareness to her presence, and they showed up to say, what's going on here? She could have, at that moment, go like, aha, Sophia, I can taste, I know what good is. Sophia, I know this is not good. Name it, not in my village, have it removed. Do that declaration. And instead, She felt like she wasn't quite enough. She needed a little more time, wanted to be educated a little bit more. Somebody else could help her do it and understand it better. And she didn't step up. She went along to get along, went along to get along. And it broke that balance. It broke the balance. And at that moment, the outsiders then began to use our souls in male bodies for their ends. They used them for invading other villages. They used them for destroying women. They used them for rape voyeurism. They used those bodies of men, and they were targeted at women. Not because your soul brothers wanted it, but they were owned. They do not need to apologize to you. You need to apologize to them. And in this moment of time, I am going to suggest you come with me back, closing your eyes and bringing back. And as we go back, let's take this huge eruption in Russia, in Ukraine, and gather especially those in male bodies, and go back, gathering every lifetime, every ancestral wound that men have suffered. And as we gather them, we can say, we love you. We are sorry. We didn't come sooner. We love you. We hear you. We are going back. We're sorry. We love you. We hear you. We're going back. You stand with me within your circle of Sophia Circle Collective. And we put all of those men, their weapons of war, the chatter in their head broadcasting, Tesla disconnected, the ownership marks, PTO remove them. We put these men from generations back in time, back in time, back in time, to that one moment where one unconscious choice. And we say, stop, freeze frame, bring in those who can heal the broken hearts of these soul brothers. Bring in those who can heal the bodysuits of these soul brothers. Bring in those who can step up and activate the authority voice within female bodysuits. And we are there together. We are there to heal the imbalance, the crack in that commitment and agreement. We say we are sorry. We now know, we now have that authority voice. And as we put our male brothers in the circle, we turn outward and we say to all those faces of evil as they appear in Russia, in Ukraine, in the United States, into any part of the world, any system of the world, and we say, we know who you are, we know what you are, and you are not allowed anywhere in the galaxy. Fill that space. Step aside because there is another greater that wants to speak. I have been given various names over the eons of time, but I was there at the beginning, as was Gaia. That field of energy that I hold, that you call sun, that field of energy that had made a total commitment and agreement to allow energy from your divine families to flow through me to you. And in that moment, that long ago time when that crippled breaking of the agreement and the accord was made, it left my field with no boundaries. And I want to say to you, I appreciate that these boundaries are reclaimed stronger than ever before. Much that had flowed through me was twisted and corrupted and made to be available for outsider use in ways that were never intended, but I had no boundaries. This situation on your planet, let's hope it's the last message giver needed there. Let's hope this is the last message giver needed. See me unowned. See me with those boundaries of Sophia, allowing that energy of grace to feed Gaia as was intended, flowing to you as was intended. We are inviting you to hold this correction in any way, in any intensity, in any system you create that you are called to. That which is being sent out from agendas of domination ought to be stopped at its sending point and it imploded into that sending tower. Identify, neutralize the sending tower and have it lifted and removed. You are a group. You look around at each other and you may think, well, we are a small group. Every one of you is connected to multitudes who will answer your decree. And can be a different decree than I'm praying for peace. It can be a different decree than my heart is so pained. All of that's true, but we have no way to respond to that in the way that we can respond to you in your conscious state of a bigger picture and a bigger plan. And even if you don't understand how it fits, if you ask, is that idea of the light, do it, it will fit. It will fit. Raphael here wanting to step in. Some of you have very direct concerns about what's going on in Ukraine and in Russia. Some of you have vicariously concerns for that which is going on in Ukraine and in Russia. We can also activate that cocooning, calling in, giving permission to individuals, teams, higher self. We can work to add protection, to add safe passage, to have return to home. Don't forget to add that where you are called. There's bigger things going on, but that doesn't negate these smaller individuals. They are playing a part too. They are playing a direct part. You are here to vicariously participate as powerfully as you are called. Trying to get back to what Sharon Riegie shared in the circle this morning. Because although it was important in that circle, I think it's important to this circle too. There are those, always have been, those in the Earth Mission Force and all in bodysuits are that, unless they are an outsider who has taken over a body. Those in physical bodysuits are all part of Earth Mission, and they all have volunteered for different pieces of that mission. And some of those contracted assignments will be ending during this conflict, as some were ending during the COVID experience, and their souls left their body. They were complete with their assignment. That will be happening here in Ukraine and Russia. You also have the knowledge and the ability to cocoon those whose exit date is soon, today, tomorrow, that they will be leaving their body according to their plan of leaving their body. That doesn't mean we ought to cheer and be, oh, well, big deal. No. If your loved one was going to be leaving their body in a day or two or a week, and you had a sense that that's where they were going, you wouldn't just go like, okay, well, good luck to them. No, you would cocoon them in the same beautiful space of love and sovereignty, calling in their teams to be with them every step of the way, their higher self holding them in that space of divine good, a weaving of divine good that only happened a month and a half ago. This space of divine good is more powerful than you can even comprehend. It's not the same words as a year ago. Those who are in the process of giving you the message as they leave their body ought to be celebrated and cheered and blessed with every healing protocol you can think of for themselves, for their ancestral line, for their families left on the planet. What would you do? You would activate every protocol you knew for those that you loved. Do it for those whom you love in spirit, but don't know them consciously. There is a lot you can do in the next little while. You may find you have this activity, then you're going to do this activity, then you're going to do this, and then you're going to go back, and you may be very busy. Or you may say, where I want to play is I want to make sure that those who are leaving the body are leaving the body with all their negative karma transformed, with their angels by their side, moved into the highest and best of divine good to continue their walk. I want them celebrated. I want the blessings left on their family. You may do that. Let's try and make this the last hurrah. At least take a big chunk out of that puzzle. There's a lot of us working here. You can never overwork us, however. This is not a happenstance. This is a process needing to go through to get to where we are restored to the divine agendas of the divine star families. This is process. You don't want to get stuck in the process. Do what you feel to do. It will be enough. Ask your part to play. It will be enough. Connect to what plan do you want to be a part of? It may be, like I said, that you want to be a part of transforming and moving those souls really powerfully, blessing their families. Or you might want to be a part of energizing those who are waiting to work with Tesla and beyond to bring forth new systems. There's a lot. There's a lot. Where is your heart drawn to play? Sophia wants to come in one more time and say, please spend some time considering how you can energize that broken agreement. That broken agreement, and realize we in female bodysuits, you in behalf of us all, can say, we're sorry. We're sorry. And we are correcting it, and we bless you, and we hold you so that you can be restored to your heart flow with the sun and see the balance, the correction brought back together. Next week, questions. And there may be questions that come up as you walk your walk, you observe the world, you listen. We'll be here to hear you and to give you our insight. Thank you so much for being together, and so much for being so concerned and committed to being restored to that which is the divine truth of your being, all forms of good. May it be in your lifetime. May it be in your lifetime. We send you blessings.